everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Pathfinder's first edition Hell's Vengeance Adventure Path. This is the Foul Parody Podcast. We play every October to get our evil on in the spirit of Halloween, all October long. And tonight is the final installment, or installments, depending on how late we can go. And then you gotta wait another year. Now, I've been editing these and not spacing them out. I've been throwing up 2 episodes at a time, 2 inside of a week. So if you go to YouTube, the Rollmongers Podcast Network, you go to our website, www.rollmonger.com, go on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, look up all shows or look up, more likely, the Foul Parody Podcast. You can get caught up and you can enjoy them. You can binge, you can enjoy them slowly until we come around to another season. Assuming my daughter will put up with me that long. So, when last we left our party, they were at the Ash Tea House talking to Rizlargo. Simri had taken them there, and Rizlargo says the Archbaron demands a sacrifice. He demands an example be made, that the townsfolk don't fear him or you guys enough. Those little bits of kindness, Luca, Nico, not looking at you, Rom, you're stone cold. Those little pluses, you guys been trying to keep the rebellion points down. Well, I guess that's not good enough for the Baron. He wants you to pick a known rebel. Well, you let 2 go, Urkel and Burkle, and now you're down to a single person in custody who was just caught breaking into the jailhouse. I don't know if the townspeople think Lauren, a priest of Amode, of the local church of Amode, friend to all citizens, is a rebel. I mean, you guys were spouting a lot of, it was treason to attack us and blah, blah, blah. But it's all in the middle of the night. I mean, you're talking smack to his mom. You know, the town knows nothing. You guys would have to, if you chose to execute this guy, wheel him out, charges, this. Rizlargo tells you, or you learn, that the Archbaron's men will need 24 hours to erect a scaffold, gallows, or whatever you want, in the town square. And you have that time to do whatever you wish. Drum up charges, find yourself a new rebel, make the town know of Lauren or Lacal's crimes, whatever you guys want to do. So, boot out of the townhouse, tea house. It's a rundown mess. It's not a townhouse. Out you go. Brand new day that we kind of slept in anyway. And back to the jailhouse you go. And you guys are hanging around. Nico wants to check in at the hostis and some of his ladies and gather a little bit more information. Niles says he has a few reagents and errands to run before he gets back to his vivisectomy of our new patient that's still tied up in the other room, which leaves Luca, Rom, and Simri to plot the party's next move. Ladies and gentlemen,
as much as we could certainly sacrifice the one that we've already captured as a rebel, it might be a little bit problematic to prove that. However, I do have access to casting minor illusions. We could perhaps convince the audience at the execution and show them the series of events. However, I do believe there's probably a significantly better target to execute that we have yet to catch.
We could do a movie night, says
Snively. You think you're going to do illusions against the wall like a big projector?
I mean, basically, yes, but that's the backup.
Always wondered what a movie was anyway.
What were you thinking of?
The little rat bastard that keeps running around putting up posters every morning.
Oh, we have to actually figure out who he is and catch him first.
We would. But it might be worth trying to find him in the morning. And set up some form of a detection perimeter around the town. They set up posters again yesterday. We go through today, taking them down and see if they bite.
Didn't we try that last time?
mean, if they only act during the night, how exactly would we find them during the day?
Oh, we wouldn't find them during the day. We'd take down the posters during the day and make a show of it. And then during the night, we'd just watch.
Would you like to take all the posters that we collect, bring them to the center of the town, and then burn them near the gallows? Though I suppose if we burn them near the gallows, it might be a bit obvious.
Hmm.
We don't need to burn them near the gallows, but we should gather them up and burn them and kind of make a public display of it. Do we already have a written law that states these posters cannot be up, or have we just kind of said that they shouldn't be?
Yes, where did we put that poster of rules?
Right downtown and on the side of the jailhouse.
Yes.
There's a couple. There's one here at the jailhouse. There's one at that post of, missing cat and everything downtown.
Trying to find it in my personal set. I don't know. Do we have a personal copy that we may access at our own discretion?
Actually, what are the posters are regularly basically advertisement for the Church of Iomade, correct? And that she is coming, quote unquote.
They talk about the angel night. What will you do when she comes for you? And then the clerics of Iomade claim that she's part of this crusade that reclaimed the holy sword on the edge of Cheliaxan territory, and that they're coming. They're coming here. They're going to liberate us. And what are you going to do when she comes for you? You're going to stand on the side of right, or you keep your head down and keep working for the Archbaron? It was basically the message of the cleric, making her, our not friend. You guys get hired on by the Archbaron, one by one, take the sweared pack, and now you guys are the letter of the law.
I mean, we could use that.
So
Well, we have a cleric of Iomade in our cell. We advertise that they are to be executed on the morrow. Make a show of removing the posters of Iomade. Try to provoke the troublemakers.
You think that they would come to his rescue?
No, I think they would use the opportunity as a larger chance to try to invoke a rebellion. If they were to put up the posters, and if we remove them, they might wait a while and not actually go out the next day to put posters back up. Instead, we remove the posters and make a show of presumably targeting Iomade, quote unquote.
Do we not want to avoid rebellion? I thought we wanted to strike fear into the hearts of the civilians.
Well, either way, tomorrow, there's an entire possibility that we'll be killing off a rebel rouser that is potentially tied to Iomade.
I think we should set up something that would keep the audience at bay in case they do decide to get a little frisky.
Oh, during the actual execution?
Yeah, some kind of traps or something that we could set off that would protect us.
Here's a copy of the Archbaron's decree. I just put it in the chat. Do you want me to read it real quick?
Yes, please.
Yes. All citizens and visitors to the town of Longacre, by order of me, my lordship Darius Thex, Archbaron of Longacre, and in accordance with the wishes of her infernal magistrates. She does look fabulous this week, by the way. I was just having tea with her. Queen Abigail II of the thrice-damned House Thrune. The following decrees are now in effect. Longacre's western gate, known as the Castle Gate, is closed until further notice. All travel into and out of Longacre must employ the north or south gates and be officially sanctioned in paperwork. Only my agents sanctioned by local businesses or those displaying a writ of passage bearing the seal of my House of Facts will be granted passage. All others must obtain a writ from the Longacre notary or do business elsewhere. Longacre citizens shall not congregate in groups numbering greater than 6 in private or in numbers greater than 12 in public. Exceptions will be made only for families with more than 6 members or for individuals undertaking the natural course of their business. Gatherings for the purpose of celebration, education, or religion are not exempt from this order. A curfew is now in effect from the hour after dusk to the hour before dawn. No citizen of Longacre is allowed upon the town streets without writ of exception bearing the seal of my House of Facts. My agents are sanctioned with local businesses, and they are exempt from this order. Those seeking a writ of exception may apply at the Longacre Notary, but it's going to fucking cost you. Any persons found in violations of these mandates or any other laws and sanctions of Longacre will be considered serious agents and subject to questioning, imprisonment, and summary judgment by myself or officials, you lot, of the town government. For the prosperity of Longacre, the protection of the empire, and the glory of House Thrune. Yours truly, Darius Fex, me, Archbaron of Longacre. It's actually a recording. He made it magical. You hear his voice and everything. Well, after Alex's awesome performance, I can't be one-upped by my daughter, so I had to throw in some over the top. While you guys are pondering what to do next, Niles Cronin returns from his errands, getting his reagents.
Good news, everyone! Subject 5 is still alive.
He's back from vacation. Look at the palm trees in his background.
You're really tracking sand in here. Spent all morning cleaning.
It's so abrasive, and it turns out it's not just Dark Knights who don't find it appalling. It is abrasive, and it does get everywhere.
He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Where the hell did you go?
He was having the time of his life.
I think it was probably the time of someone else's life, actually.
It was a time of someone's life. Yes, we are all correct.
So, speaking of the subject, have you gleaned any information from the thing?
Haven't done much. They are quite resilient still. But this is a puzzle I will solve. And it is excellent to have such a resilient subject in this regards.
Dr. Niles, you've had to keep it sedated. It's a little wily. Questioning is really not your forte anyway.
The questions aren't answered with their words.
Yeah. But, your party keeps wanting to talk to it and find out what it knows. And
I know it's annoying.
Well,
my answers are answered with results.
Once, I want to say Darius. Once Nikolai returns with those special brimstone clad iron cuffs that you requested, this thing can struggle at once. It will not escape you like it did last night, fluttering around the room, smacking against windows like a bird, but you guys managed to subdue it.
The broom came in very handy. Oh, we also need a new broom.
Those things aren't cheap,
Just the handle.
If you don't use your birthday villain point, I'm willing to carry it over in November. And anything I run, of course, I'm not DMing in November, but I'll pitch your argument to the other GMs. No, we're gonna do some
This
Age
is
of
good to-
Ashes.
This is good to know.
I'll give you a hero point in Age of Ashes because this is like 3 seasons, and I have yet to actually hear you use your birthday villain point. Like you never get to use it before we end.
No.
So
I mean, I didn't.
either that or get you a broom. Just mail him a broom to Windsor. He'll get the joke. His wife will be pissed, but he'll get the joke.
Not quite. We appreciate these things.
Yeah. Hey,
practical.
Canada's small world. Random person. Want a quote? Replace my furnace? Corey Messina. Turns out it's
Yes.
Ryan's cousin.
Yes, I am related to all the Messinas that you are near. Yes, there's an Italian joke in there, but it's true.
The best part is Cheryl actually got him talking about the podcast. He'd heard of Rollmongers. I got excited. Now I see why he's heard of Rollmongers because of you.
A small world, Jeff. Small world.
I was hoping it was just a legit fan. Anyway,
It's a small
so
world.
guys, the Baron's men are coming this afternoon with a bunch of wood to build something. You know, like,
Excellent. Let
Do you
them
guys
be
want-
industrious.
do you guys want a gallows? Some kind of scaffold? A guillotine would take a little bit more time, but, you know, the classics. A bunch of rope
Guillotine.
and horses for drawing quartering, I understand is your favorite, but, you know, whatever gets the job done, the Baron wants an execution. And
Could I
just-
request the starfish guillotine?
The what?
Starfish guillotine.
What's that?
What does the starfish look like?
The Baron's men are intrigued. Tell us more.
Well, think of combining a guillotine and the draw and quarter.
Hey man, we have nothing against aquatic life or the coastline. You know, I don't know when we heard about any starfish. The Baron wants a rebel, not any starfish executed.
Yeah, but the guillotine is quick, correct?
Is it
Yeah.
5 blades?
Yes!
Frightening.
So do they go off
Frightening.
like clockwork? So it's ow, ow.
However you wish.
Well, if you do the head first, he's not
you
going to
have-
feel it.
Well, you don't start with the head first. That's just called a guillotine, my friend. If you start on the left one, then you go to the lower left one, then you go to the lower right one, then you go to the upper right one, and then you go to the top middle.
We could get you an anvil and axe, and then you could just put out extremities and limbs and chop them off one by one as you read out the charges. You know, we don't.
But what would you do with the wood then?
Actually, yeah, I don't think we have time to build a guillotine. We'll build you a scaffold, like a lovely little platform, bring you an axe and an anvil, and if you want to chop off his head or arms or whatever, go nuts. That's all we have time for. Anyway, so they start building a foundation. Of which
Cheap bastards.
they start building. Oh, what can we pull off in a day? Don't answer that, Ryan. I don't want to hear your construction advice.
You're asking the wrong individual. I've already calculated. How many bodies do I have?
All that cold iron that was sent off to the war. We don't even have nails. You know, we're using papaya.
Oh,
glue.
those nails are backwards. They're for the other side.
Using Gilligan coconuts and papaya and.
Well, irregardless of how we are to execute them, we still need to decide who we are going to execute.
This is an interesting conversation I've walked into.
Yes.
So, who is the defect?
Again, sorry, I suppose you did just arrive. My suggestion was to announce the execution of our current prisoner in hopes that after removing posters, we can incite the lovely artist to travel around town putting up posters again, at which point we could potentially capture him. If we do capture him, we can execute them. If we don't, we have a prisoner in our case already.
This could be efficient. I see the merit in this approach. Do we have anyone else who wish? Oh, and for a simple construct, a pyre. It's still very slow. It's very malign, but and very quick and easy to build too, as I've
Cool.
noticed.
The smell gets everywhere.
We like a bonfire, says the Says the Archbarons men. Yeah, all this wood we could just like chop up and use for the pyre. Little raised platform, you know, a big pole and tie them to the pole and a whole bunch of Oh yeah. Thanks, man. You're the best. I'll get time. Come on, Floyd. We'll have time to get in like at least the back 9 by the end of the afternoon.
Having a classic witch burning.
Yeah.
Well, it serves a purpose. Let's not overthink it. Sometimes the simplest solution is to simply hit the nail on the head with a hammer. In this case, it's more stack the wood in a concentric manner.
The other one we might want to hunt down is whoever smeared shit upon the forward window.
Do we have any leads on that?
Yes, a child's handprint.
Oh, I mean, in that
What,
sense,
it's a cute
perhaps.
kid.
Well, at the very least, we might be able to figure out who.
Wait, we have a handprint.
Amos.
Yeah, it was a toss-up between a halfling and a kid, and I think it was actually your forensic science between you and Simri once again that had decided it was that of a child and not of an actual halfling. So, you know, some kid is throwing poop. I mean, the town isn't overly happy with you. We do have... Oh, let's check our notes. I am supposed to keep you apprised of how many rebellion points you have incurred so far. You're at 10. I'm not telling you what number you reach to get a prize.
Or we have the option of a deviant priest of Serenre. Or you
The priest you got on B&E, he broke in, and he's well known. This deviant,
He's
is printing
Not to
breaking and
mention
entering
attempted
also,
murder.
and attempted at murder as well, too.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and
whatever.
also breaking the curfew.
For breaking
And being the
curfew.
worshipper of Iomade.
The worst offense of all.
Imagine you guys reading
you
the
start with that
charges
one.
as you torch this guy, like you're lighting the thing, you know, and they're like curfew. They're setting him on fire for
No.
curfew violation.
You start with curfew violation. You follow with why he broke curfew.
He stayed up late to break into the jail to assault us.
Attempted murder.
They would throw cabbage at you, like we're assaulting.
Look at what they did to my sword. They stained it with their blood.
Okay, the blacksmith.
All
would
of
be
which
like,
would be
"Yeah."
displayed in a silent image floating above the pyre
You like
that
you make-
everyone could see.
the hologram of yeah, okay. Anyway, hey,
But again, back up.
crowd control and all that stuff, that's for you guys to think about. The Archbaron wants a public execution. That's all. How you go about it, who you do, you know. I mean, if you guys want to be softies, I don't know if it was me or Matt, somebody threw out the idea of like using the twins' dead body in a ruse to like and not actually kill the guy. Right? You want a body, the town will react, but you technically could let the guy go, you know, leave town.
That is actually a deviously ingenuitive idea.
Didn't Rom go throw that body in the woods? We'd have to go get it.
Rom could go get. He can unthrow the body.
Let's see how much damage has been done to that body in the last 24 hours. Rom, go fetch.
Luca,
All right. I
magic-
will take the bag of holding and I'll just walk out the office.
Luca, do your skill sets involve anything on the illusory side?
I've been talking about projecting a giant illusion this entire time.
Yes.
I will be.
You're the only one who
I meant
sees me.
But I meant realistic.
I'm about to be 6 years worth undo 6 years worth of meanness to Aiden Willems. Aiden, an hour goes by, you're back already, and they're still debating who to burn. You're back with the body. There you go.
As far as the body is concerned, it is now it would be presumably considered an object. I might be able to just mend it. Beyond
Fair.
that,
Opens the bag, corpse drops out. There you
Yeah.
go.
You're looking at a happy 24, 48 hours. Like, because remember, you guys that night he ran off, and then it was like the next day, and then Mom visited. And now we're the next day, so I think we're looking at like 18 to 24, maybe even 48 hours,
Probably 36.
maybe 3 days. Do I hear 72? Going once, going twice. Okay, 3 days.
No, 36.
Anyway.
So a day and a half.
Bloated, rigor mortis, you know, like you just tie up. a
Who
dead
wants
guy
to
in a
ruin their Google search history?
I am.
Oh no!
Actually,
no.
after a little bit of time, rigor mortis goes away.
Yep.
I
Don't remember
will-
how long though.
I will save you some time. He obviously looks dead, and not like. How would you make him look alive? How would you make him look after the execution?
May I?
Yeah.
Oh, what does the corpse look like for 500?
After about 36 hours, the chemical bonds resulting in the stiffness break down and the body will become soft again.
Right on the
I
money.
mean, if we are planning to do an execution via fire, we don't have to worry about disposing of the body afterwards.
It could be 2 birds with one stone.
It's just a late cremation.
There we go.
Rom's got him out of the bag, and he's got him like, you know how you carry your drunk friend where you've just got the one wrist over your shoulder and the guy's sagging off the side of you, and he's holding him around the waist, and he's just flopping him around, nodding and agreeing. You know, what should we do with Mr. Body?
This is
Oh no!
Having said that,
he is
though,
on
I mean-
the ground. I'm not touching the body
Okay.
at the moment.
This is the loudest amongst us here.
You think I'm smart enough to weaken at Bernie's him? Come on.
having said that, though, I mean, we were given a specific mission to commit an execution. That is now the law.
Timeline was never defined, though.
What?
The time when the execution would happen.
Yeah,
If it's
tomorrow.
already happened.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Well, yeah, they're building your scaffold. You had 24 hours to decide who and what we're going to
Hire.
build, and they're building it. So
Thank you.
Archbaron is expecting some kind of decree today by the end of the day, like before curfew and everyone runs away. He's expecting you guys to shout out, "Hey, come one, come all, tomorrow at dawn or noon or tomorrow night, come to the bonfire," whatever it is. I guess that would buy you an extra day. Come on, bring the kids. Come to the bonfire.
Bring your marshmallows.
It's a surprise. You just say it's a bonfire. Everyone's invited. They all get excited. I think they'll be
It's a
dancing.
cookout.
God.
Chili guy brings chili.
Why do I help you? guys?
Either way, it was a
Why
decree
does this
by
meat taste so weird?
it was a decree by Archbaron Fex. Therefore, an execution is to be occurred.
Thank you, Jay, to sticking to your evil guns.
No, lawful.
Sure.
As am I, agreeing with you in those regards. But if it could serve a purpose, this individual was executed prior by us.
What purpose would you proposing that it would serve?
We would have a bird in the hand and a bird in the bush. A burning bush at that, but still a bush.
Niall gets a living victim. Are you kidding me? Isn't it obvious? He's not going to let
At
the
best.
live guy go.
At best, I could potentially see a relevance of having followed through this plan with the express result of the lady of the church taking her son and leaving town.
But she would have no son left.
She would have exactly one son left that we didn't execute at the pyre.
No, we announced that is the one that is being executed.
And then we have her leave in secret with her still alive son.
Her still alive son is our current ward.
Yes,
That is not the one.
we would return the currently still alive son on the
Oh.
condition that she and he leave.
On the condition that she disband the church.
If she leaves, I imagine the church would just kind of fumble onto its own. As far as I'm aware, she is currently the head. Certainly, considering how everyone reacted when she came up to interrogate her own, find out about her own son in the church earlier, that large congregation wouldn't have arrived without her.
I'm afraid I am poorly informed on this individual, this lady, on her mannerisms, whether that she'd be receptive to such an offer. Perhaps a meeting would be in order then.
We would have to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might be indeed one particular person among us that would be primely positioned for that discussion.
And you imply?
Looks at Simri.
It is I, Snively. Oh, it's not me? Fine.
I told you to wait in the room. Go back.
I thought he said Snively, not Simri. It sounds the same to me up here in the rafters.
No, Stinkly, get back. Go. Go.
I'm going.
Get out of here. I am terribly sorry, everyone. That is subject number 2. I would prefer if you didn't look at him.
Beyond that, as far as the actual pyre is concerned, certainly we can dress up the body to look at least semi-alive as we're stringing him up, and then immediately start the fire before people can gather too much.
The smoke and flame will do enough to augment the illusion.
Yep.
He wanted a
Then beyond that,
he wanted a public execution though. Like it's not breaking what the Baron said, but like he will get word that you guys.
It's interpreting, and this is the covenant that we will know.
It'll work, throwing illusions of screaming or whatever, and like, hey, 3 people walk through town. Here's Dawn. Light them up. Kerosene. Oh, and read the charges every hour. Yeah, that's technically not doing what the Baron said, but the Baron wants a full town square, showmanship, light them up. Everyone goes, ew, we feared the Baron. Like they walk by and like, who's the dead guy on a post? Oh my God, that was so-and-so? Are you kidding me? I didn't see it. Did you see it? No, like it's done. But
well, I mean, it's also a dead body on a post. We cover the face. We cover the face with a bag for decency of the body or of the victim.
Now there's
Think
one.
of the children.
Yeah. There's those idiots that Rom hates. There's Matt, Ryan. We lost Jeff to the shadows. Aiden, those idiots that brought the drifter body. You tell them to go find you some other. Who owes you guys money? Who's outlived their usefulness in this town? Pin some rebel charges on them. Bag over their head. In the fire.
We're just doing that. It's randomly. You over yonder.
Well, if you guys are squeamish about killing another cleric of Amode.
No,
I mean, I'm
No,
not.
not in the slightest.
I am actively sharpening my scimitar.
We're not in the slightest bit concerned about actively killing another cleric of Iomade. We're trying to make use of the situation.
That would be
Yes,
funny.
exactly.
You guys decide not to burn Lauren, and Rom goes in the back room, comes back in with a bloody scimitar. Right, took care of the cleric for you since we're not going to use him in the execution. What? Stab.
Bells are all clean now, guys.
The ideas.
Cells are empty.
No. If we think about this logically, if we kill the current alive one, then she'll probably just have nothing to live for anymore, so why not risk it all? She'd probably raise a rebellion herself. Meanwhile, if we give her the promise of freeing her and her son and making sure they get the hell out of here, then the church disbands and the people lose power.
So you're saying if we kill her other son, she will be easily killable. Understood. I will literally start walking towards that back cell.
Stinky, go spray.
Hold on, big guy.
Snively comes down, upside down, a little cat hand, cat boots, and stops Rom. Hold on.
Just a reminder, everyone. I do have a tumor familiar, so think of it like a skunk that's inside out.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Snively, the little cat dude that you guys captured, and made a deal. He lives in your rafters. Remember the guy who took out the gatehouse? Snively.
No, I'm talking about my tumor familiar. So again, as described, if it ever detaches from my body, imagine the sound of a wet loaf of bread hitting the ground.
I think we've heard that once in this podcast, and only
Yes.
once. Sorry, I forgot about him.
No worries.
Fuck, I forgot.
You know,
Yeah.
I
No,
let you
Rom.
voice your own familiar.
This is only level 2. I've got more levels yet.
Thank God we only play this once a year.
No, Rom. It's not about breaking one person. It's about breaking many. Whether that be physically or emotionally, let's try and go for the emotional at first. And then if that
at the
doesn't...
very worst, smallest case, we can still kill him.
Well, that is always an option.
Oh, you want to break them? No, I just wanted to kill her because she's a worshiper of Iomade.
Valid point. But perhaps by having her go away, we would hurt many more of her followers. on the inside with
I
our
think
word
that
with
is
our word
unlikely.
knives. Yes.
Iomedaean worshippers are blind and foolhardy.
But
Agreed.
nevertheless are are just as equally inclined to follow the law.
Especially once a key point in leadership has been removed.
Exactly, so we remove her head, understood.
Hey, morons,
So
I got
close.
one word for you. It rhymes with moron. It's martyr. You make them martyrs and you guys are screwed.
Or
Says the
what was that
rappers.
word?
Subject number 2, ready
Martyr.
your spray weapon.
Again, also why killing the cleric is a last option.
The living cleric.
Yes.
Yes,
I mean, you can't kill a dead cleric.
that is correct.
But we can make people think we are.
Let's go ask the vampire.
You want him to
At least we know he's insane.
I mean, it's easy enough. If you are worried about making a dead body look like it's alive, again, like I said, we cover up the face. It's a minor bit of magic to make the body move around as it's being burned. Another bit of minor magic to make the sounds of screaming.
And a lot
No.
of smoke and fire to help cover up where it's not looking like that.
Wow, that guy in the pyre screaming in stereo. That's really cool. I told you we'd get good seats.
It's directed.
The squeaky
don't-
voice. Doctors first.
Oh, no worries. I was merely saying that I believe all the illusionary effects together would be sufficient enough to make this believable. And Ron, feel free if there's any infidels at the time who seem to be too outrageous to add them to the pyre. Think of that as your special task.
I had you at infidels.
Yes. The first infidel you see becomes the next timber on the pyre.
I can live with this.
There you go. And Luca will be in charge of making sure that the liveliness will be in full fruition. Simri will table the deal with our antithesis. And I will get to spend more time with subject number 5.
I would like to point out one thing that the squeaky voice brought up, which is a fair point. Anyone of respect or popularity in this town will technically become a martyr if we quote unquote execute them. It might actually be better to just bag and tag a rando.
But we've already we've left with the story that this individual fled into the forest and was fate unknown. What if they ran back from the forest and attacked us?
Excellent. That way the public believes that there's one alive son still, that we're not completely evil.
And we still leaves with the card of playing, take your offspring and be gone.
GTFO.
I mean, she would have significantly less reason to be gone if she's no longer trying to hide her one remaining alive son.
Well, with the threat, too, of our first example has been done. Do we need a second? Yes, there is the chance of turning them into a martyr, but we have lots and lots of trees available.
We could
to
just exile the other son, considering he was part of the plan and scheme against us.
us. We
show
could
the
use that
public.
as an agreed, Simri. That is a very good point. We could use that as a diplomatic way of releasing the son and not have to do it such a Candlestein way after we've parlayed with this woman.
So you're saying you will publicly execute one, publicly exile the other, kind of forcing their hand because now illegally the son can't stay in town because you announced he's in exile. Is that what you're saying?
It's
Yeah.
what we're theorizing currently.
who's currently the most hit? Or who was hit by one of them? Was it Nico who was looking pretty bad? I know that he's healed by now, but we could just, rough him up and make him look a bit bad again. And
Wrong.
What?
Be ready to kill almost.
Almost. Basically, we just
get that mace and beat on the vampire.
But there is no in between.
Well,
There's either dead or annoying me.
what if it's already dead, though?
The reason why we're executing one of them is because he drew blood from one of us. Therefore, execution. The other one didn't quite get that far. Therefore, he gets the wonderful gift of exile.
So
Yes.
assault and causing bodily harm to a town official is the official charge. That's the nastiest.
Trespassing and beyond.
Oh yeah, no, just
curfew.
like the nastiest one.
And treason.
Of course.
Which is treason,
Heretic.
right? Yeah, to attack us is to attack the Baron. Which is
Infidel.
treason. Yeah. I just thought you guys were gonna start small and work your way up.
Peasant. Of course. That one's obvious.
For being a peasant.
How
That's
dare
a
you be
crowd
poor.
pleaser, I bet.
In front of us. Being a peasant isn't wrong. Being a peasant in front of us is wrong.
Okay. Okay, well, wow. Look at that day go by. It's getting to be evening, and if you guys don't get out there and,
We had a discussion in this amount of time. They could have a quick discussion. We have plenty of time.
fine.
At some point I'll have gone out and ripped down all the posters. 'Cause I contribute
posters?
nothing to the conversation.
There was
Posters.
I thought that
You got the body.
What posters?
The Iomedain posters.
Those were put up once, and you guys already ripped them all down. Then you've been.
I thought they
And you
no,
said
they got
were
put up
again.
Oh, right. The one night you guys ran off and came. Sorry, that's right. A bunch were put up. Yeah.
Yeah, like literally when I ran off with the body, the guy was putting them up.
Somebody was. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. I
well,
forgot.
we need to start the pyre somehow, and it does seem.
Oh
as
yeah.
foot.
There you go. Lots of kindling. He runs around.
Burn him by her light. I like that.
So, with the plan that we've settled on, we will still need the elusive of this person is still alive, technically.
Yes.
Okay, then I need money because I need to go visit a local store.
How much?
Well, I hope to purchase a couple simple scrolls.
Not be able to beseech our patron for such things. These are expenses for the greater good, are they not?
What patron? I have a patron.
The patron,
our Baron.
No, the Baron.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I could ask, but again,
Could you not get these on note?
we don't necessarily want to imply that we're going to be faking an execution when talking to the Baron, do we not?
Are these
Fair.
agreed specifically to? No. Well, no. Could you not write a note? Can we not expense these things? Do we not have an expense account?
We have no funding.
No.
No.
One of the workers outside. No. And like, by the way, you owe the hardware store for the nails that we got, by the way, to put this up for you.
That's why I said pyre. They need no nails. You have the timber.
You see like a post
I want my
and they've
tax
just
refund.
driven nails into it. We're reinforcing the wood with these nails.
You stop that. You're fired.
You can't
You're
fire me.
promoted.
Use twine like the rest of us.
It's going to burn down anyways. Why are you using nails?
Oh yes, please take on Phil, the Archbaron's man, under your wing and have him walk around so Rom doesn't have to do all the grunt work. You're with us. You're fired. What? That's funny.
Oh, clearly that one's incompetent. He's using the nails on the wrong side of the pyre.
Well, I'm reinforcing the wood so the wood doesn't burn down before the body. Duh.
You're an idiot. Stop talking.
Ralph says, "Hey man, we have feelings too, man. That was just mean."
Oh, I'm
Pinch one's
sorry.
happy.
Please come in. Join me. Allow me to get you some tea.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. They come in.
That's nice. Yeah, come on. Come this way.
We never saw Phil and Ralph again.
Please sit on this table. Yeah,
Wow.
relax.
It took 2
Take
days
a load
to
off.
build the pyre. Half the men disappeared. Way to stall there, Ryan.
Oh, just one.
The villain points keep coming. Come in for tea. Ryan's wearing like new boots, Archbaron boots. Next day.
So if we're going to be truly evil, do we make fancy little invitations and send them out to the clerics of Iomade saying that you are hereby formally invited to a wonderful bonfire in the middle of the town square tomorrow?
Yes. I like this idea.
Okay,
Give her time to respond.
That's a villain point for Alex right there. Damn. 1 VP for Alex. I'm going to put that in the notes. Jeez. Oh, I don't have a villain point count. Okay, I got to get that started.
To remind the audience, how do we use villain points?
A villain point allows you to re-roll a failed roll, and if a ally is adjacent, you can also bestow it on them, but they got to be within reach. And you earn them by doing something extra evil, but with style. Such as Aiden kind of got noticed for putting, was it Lobo makeup? What do they call it? Juggalo makeup on Kells, the bard. And then Jay got a straight up villainy point for making it permanent for a day. Well, he ran around freaking out because he's a bard and emotionally unstable, right? Later on, I actually gave Aiden his own villainy point for something else that was dastardly and, earlier crimes committed. So, villainy points. And Jay had one earlier on. So we have Jay's.
That was the birthday one that went away.
Was it? That was Ryan's.
Yeah.
But you actually earned one for making make it permanent.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. But you haven't spent it yet because I've been listening back. Okay. Jay, Alex, Aiden, Ryan, you all have a villainy point. The Ryan one, if he doesn't spend it tonight, I'll let, because it's a subjugated birthday within inside of a show. So, yeah, I'll let that
I
carry.
have already used mine.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't remember what, but I did use it.
Okay, I believe you. All right. So,
Actually, maybe I'll go back and listen. I thought I used it, but I have a note saying I have one. So
they expire.
So we write up some invitations, send those off. We are burning the posters to make a nice big show for people.
Hey, use the back
in
of the
town
poster.
square.
Don't waste paper.
Oh, fair. We'll add them to the pyre. That's stylish. This beautiful pyre set up with all these posters available.
No, I meant like you scrub out the poster and then you write the invitation of the cleric on the back, so they obviously know, your feelings. See, I'm just giving ideas. I want to be villainy too. I want to be villainous.
That's fair.
You get to play the Archbaron.
So how are we going to make the dead corpse look lively, other than putting a bag on its head, which was a good idea?
I did a dozen voices looking at that picture of the Archbaron. Like a dozen voices before I decided on what voice best suited the picture of the Archbaron, by the way. That was not an easy one. Sorry.
Luke.
The first step would be makeup. The second step would be probably some mending casts. As far as getting the body onto the platform, we should probably have it
lashed
bound.
out.
Sorry. I just hit them with a poster of the Archbaron on GQ magazine.
As far as getting the body onto the post, we should probably have it bound, hands and feet, and just kind of drag him.
Yeah, create some moaning, groaning sounds like he's been beat up and tired and sad.
Yep. Different sounds and such are a spell that would be ghost sound. The ideal would be ventriloquism, but I don't know if I can get access to that one anytime soon. Beyond that, there is silent image would also help a lot as far as making him look as if he were more alive.
We can always gag him.
I don't think we would need to gag him. His face will be under a mask. We could just make it sound like he's gagged.
And even when gagged, a person screams very, very loud, even still, while being burned alive. But very good, Ron. Yes, good thinking.
And as far as making it look like he's moving on the post, that's the one I'm looking into. Of course, I could use Mage Hand, but
I'm just curious.
wouldn't
Why
be
have
particularly violent.
a guy broke in the door and you jumped him and he's dead and no one sheds a tear? Why are we so squeamish about killing the other one? Why specifically? You are evil
Who
characters.
said we're squeamish?
Resources.
Okay. Well, I know why Niles would like a living captive that's supposedly
we don't
exiled.
need-
No, I'm currently preoccupied with all my research needs. Queen
Okay.
Abigail's demands that the uses of diplomatic ties to further the empire must be used to the most furthest fruition. You understand, this is all for Cheliax and the greater of.
If there is a possibility of making use of this execution, which frankly, beyond as far as the laws of Cheliax are concerned, outside of specifically this one demand made by the Archbaron, the greater Cheliax tends to more prefer slavery and or forced labor than it does execution.
So you guys are
Indeed,
thinking big, thinking beyond the Baron, thinking of your own futures.
I agree with Luca. The Archbaron is having a very egotistical and spur-of-the-moment rash decision. But he is the law in this area, and we have to respect his requests.
Okay.
As such, if we can make use of this particular execution in the sense that we may be able to better our own position via the execution, even better.
Like a whole lot of effort when I could just stick my scimitar in the living one and be done with it.
And what would that accomplish, Rom?
Make me happy.
It would. It would definitely make you happy to then continue to attack and kill everyone else that is associated with the Omide. And it would actually honestly be kind of entertaining for me as well. But entertainment is not the law.
Nor is
Okay,
it
and?
growth, and nor is it growing the empire's strength.
Okay, and?
Queen Abigail might make her sad.
Okay,
If you do-
and?
If you break the law now, you will not have the support for carrying out the execution of infidels going into the future.
So,
I hate when you use smart words.
Okay.
Think of the Hell Knights.
Disgusting.
like babies.
So you guys are going to use the dead body
Yes.
and you're going to disguise it. You're going to bag the head so it doesn't look so dead, obviously dead. Good thing you took the clothes and armor off it that are still fresh in the closet. Put those back on the body. I mean, if you guys gloved and booted him and like as long as no one can smell the dude, you know,
I will take care of that.
make the head bag wiggle a bit.
This body will be fresh as a newborn by the time I'm finished with it.
You see him rubbing a newborn all over the body.
Gonna stuff it with potpourri like a turkey.
You know my ways, Simmery.
It'll be a very strange smelling bonfire, but nevertheless, let's try.
Picturing the cleric bare-assed up, like hog-tied with apple in its mouth like a pig, and there's
Have you ever cooked a turkey?
yeah, I'm aware how this goes. Anyway, so if I'm not wrong, we prep the body. You guys got your pyre built, and you're going to what? Use our little wagon. Remember the poop wagon that we still have? Did we still have that poop wagon?
Or we could use Rom's large stature.
I'm just wondering if you're going to roll about and present to the pyre and the crowd, or just, tie him up there when no one's looking at Dawn, and then wait for a crowd. You know, who's
I think
important?
tying him up before people get there is a good idea.
Yeah. We're waiting around. Dawn breaks, and then start the fireworks and everything, right? So you guys sent off an invitation to the cleric, but does the town, are you guys going to spend the afternoon or evening, you know, rallying the town, make sure the town know that attendance is a must and all that?
Do we have access to criers or street children here? I haven't had any time
street
yet to get them
urgents
spare.
are buyable, but that would cost money.
Or intimidation. Or coercion.
Sure, but that wears off. Get 10 minutes of them going, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, and then they just, meh. Get 3
What
blocks.
about the promise of payment, but none?
We're street urgents. We're way smarter on cons than you.
I don't think so.
I do.
Not quite.
I've been manipulating them for a very long time. I'm not going to cash it out on this. We can pay them.
Very well. Tell them they can get a food token for every pamphlet they tear down.
Tea with Professor Niles. One at a time, please.
Oh, you have to have something interesting to have tea with Professor Niles. If you have nothing to bring to the table, you get no tea.
I'm sure some of them aren't quite human, if that helps. Anyway, before we go down that dark road, let's deal with the dark road we're about to cross. So, Pyre is up. You guys, you pay the urchins to spread the word. Yes?
Yes.
What do we got for party gold here?
Professor Cronin, you have some extracts and such available to you.
What are you looking for? in
Give the
particular?
kids drugs. Yeah. We'll take drugs.
Any one instance of a spell of one of these spells that I don't have to maintain or cast at the same time would be great.
Oh, unfortunately, my extracts are actually keyed specifically to my biology.
According to your party sheet, you're broke. So has anyone got personal cash they want to throw at urchins?
Didn't we get like 40 gold from?
We do have 40 gold in the party loot notes.
Do you? Okay. How much you want to spend
Yeah.
on urchins? The more you spend, the more and fast the word will be spread.
1 gold.
1 gold per urchin or total?
This is Pathfinder First Edition. 1 gold.
Okay, so a dozen urchins, maybe. So they get like 8 coppers each. That's good with us. Sure. You break down the gold, you go to the bank, turn it all in pennies, and give them each a handful of coin. Yeah, they're down. Hey, did you see any of those flyers around? We could ride in the back. No, I haven't seen any. Oh shit. All right, well, I guess we'll have to yell till our little lungs are dry.
Hear
Thankfully,
ye,
they can-
hear ye, everyone. Your local law and advisement have told us to tell you. Tomorrow, Sunday.
Oh, that's not going to work, man. Here, let me try.
Sunday.
Hey,
Oh my god, you hit puberty.
I know, right?
All right, anyway,
His voice cracks.
everyone come to the bonfire tomorrow at dawn, noon, evening. What time are we doing this? I don't know. He didn't tell us. I just took the money and ran. Okay, well, make shit up.
The
Sorry.
crack of dawn. It's the dawn flower, is it not?
shit. We burn them at dawn. No, that's Saren Ray. You get your religions messed up, but that's fine.
Oh, they all work with the sun.
Not wrong.
No, we're going to blame one good church for the other one. You're a genius. There's some conspirator in the crowd. It's all Saren Ray's doing. I'm telling you, man. It's dawn. These guys are really secretly working for the evil Saren. What are you talking about, dude?
Well, Yomede is one of the newest gods, and Saturday is one of the oldest gods. Just
Yeah.
throwing that one out there.
There you go. Jealousy amongst the female gods.
Bitch!
Okay. Anything you guys want to do with the few hours you have remaining before dawn? Thanks to you guys the rest of this evening, but that's it. Having a cookout at dawn, no?
Oh, we could try to blame it on Pharasma.
We were going to make Nikolai look like he'd been beat up a bit.
Oh, yes.
Or at least
Fat
make sure
lip,
that he has a
bruised
wound
eye.
to show off.
I mean, if we like, isn't he like all cowled up and cloaked and told like, we just show his pale ass face to people would be like, oh, well, we haven't showed you his wounds yet. He's just a pasty dude. The horror. Look what he did to his hands. His hands are all screwed up, right? Look what that cleric did to his hands.
Yes.
No, he's always throwing his hands up at everybody. We know that you're faking it. All right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Don't say blah, blah, blah.
Except for what I say. I don't say blah, blah, blah.
Nico Anatole is finally alone in the back room. Everyone's busy with other tasks. He spends hours just trying to hold a quill in his mangled little hands. Dear Mom, I made new friends. It goes on and on. Anyway, so unless anyone has any last minute supply spend, Nico or urgent meeting to do, the dawn cometh, the people gathereth, and it's time for a little horse and pony show. Yes? Taking us to the town square map. I'm not going to fill it with minis. You guys can just, the town fills up with the happy people, or should I say unhappy people. Near the well, they've constructed the pyre, and on it you guys have tied your body, and you guys kind of half-half encircle it. Nico is stashed in the nearby sniper where he can come out down the stairs and reveal himself when called upon as a witness.
Dramatically.
Yes. Throw off the blanket and the hunchback in the hunch, and you guys reveal the wounds to the people. And slowly but surely, I would say, like, there's dawn, and it's like hardly anybody comes, except for the cleric. She leads a congregation out the front door of the church. And her flock, as it were, at least a dozen people, come out and, come over and join the slowly working class crowd that are assembling one by one. She was prompt. So were her followers. Everybody else just goes about their business day, farmers and stuff. But, it's hard to make a living in an evil town. So, these dudes are up before the dawn. Farmers, trade workers, blah, blah, blah. And as the first light of Sarenrae. See, Phil, I told you. Evil.
And we use a magnifying glass to catch the sun, to focus a beam of light, to start the fire.
Oh, okay. So all night long, and Ryan spent the other 39 gold pieces on this giant contraption of a magnifying glass, all in brass, big steampunk looking thing, and it's going to focus down on the one piece of paper. And this, we do nothing. We just stand back. As the sun comes up, the magnifying glass heats up and starts the,
she could stop it if she wanted to.
The followers of Amode are like, yeah, I guess so. Not our god, not our problem. Anyway. The person that's not moving, identity concealed, is drawing a lot of whispers and wonders. The crowd gathers. Do you guys get in ready to start the show, as it were?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's up first? Decreeing of charges, the magic.
Luca enjoys rules.
Yeah.
Luca is very, very busy right now.
He's doing the
I'm going to be as far away from the from the center of the stage as I can, so that I can cast into the distance.
Okay, so maybe we got up you upstairs in the window with Nico. We got Nico out here with a blanket on him. Yeah?
I'm going to be using Mage Hand so that the body moves ever so slightly.
Oh, okay. So you just want to be hiding behind the well but close by kind of thing where people can't see you?
Yeah.
Simri, if you want to handle the priest, I can handle the decrees.
Certainly.
Excellent.
I'll just be holding the flint and the steel.
But my contraption!
I don't trust science. This is
It's
a
not
just in
science. It's the sun god's will. This individual you see before you, everyone, has done the vilest of acts in our peace-loving city here. They have attacked innocent citizens. They have broken our laws that are plainly written out and plainly read and plainly known by every individual and every child in this city. But yet, this individual chose to take these laws, smurf them, see them as little things that they do not need to follow, and make an attempt on the lives of some of your city officials. As such, our benevolence has a limit into which it has the final point. And in this such, we have deemed this individual to be executed by flame. Rom, if you would.
Hold! A voice comes from horseback, but not from the church, riding up from the south. A figure dressed lavishly holds a paper cone to his mouth so he can be heard by all. People of Longacre, the knight shouts over the sounds of the confused crowd. Will you let another of your neighbors be murdered by tyrants? The goddess Imode and the knights of the glorious reclamation are with you. Rise up, save your friends, save your town, save yourselves. Guy really dials it in. So there's Rom with his tint, right? And the crowd all looks at each other, right? Looks at you guys, and you just suddenly get that feeling of like, yeah, there's a lot of people here and only the four of us. 4 burly looking dudes, you know, people that think the town would look to them, you know, like heavy set farmers, and not Urkel and Burkle. We're good. We gone home. We respect the law now. Step forward, you know, fists in hand, and they're looking at you like, go ahead, man. Drop that tinder. We will end you. We're not going to let this happen. Roll for initiative. People step from the crowd. And
Is there just one dude on a horse?
there's a guy on a horse just got the crowd riled up. Like everyone was so tense to see what you would do. You know, we got this guy all tied up in a thing. It's like, are they gonna, is that a pyre? You know, the thing. The clerics are all right. It's a cleric, 2 clerics, and a whole bunch of nobodies. Yeah, they're just a flock. You get a whole bunch of town people going, what the hell? You know, everyone's really tense because a pyre is very, very obvious. It's not like, oh, what will they do? And basically, as soon as Ryan said his speech, right? Perfect timing, like out of an alley, this guy on a horse comes out, riles up the crowd on cue, like getting right on top of your hard work there, Niles.
He's rolling the nat 20s.
Yes. And they, 4 burly guys step forward and become a threat to us, and the crowd starts throwing crap at us. Like just, lettuce and harmless flavor kind of thing. Anyway, the knight, kicks up his horse in that stylish, 2 legs or whatever, and starts riding wide around the circle, chanting and revolt, people, revolt, like trying, keeping his distance from you guys conveniently, tactically, but is working the back of the crowd, like taking a wide arc on his horse.
One random individual rides up from an alley and you choose to side with him and not the law? We have plenty of wood if we have more dissidents.
Roll for initiative, guys. I guess I need a dude on a horse.
Hey, Rom, remember what I said about any infidels?
I am shocked and in awe.
And happy?
Yes. But so happy I'm stunned. I got a nat 1.
Oh.
Although for some reason I have an extra...
No, look. We got
2,
1, 2,
3.
3. Those are some powerful rolls, guys.
Oh my gosh, y'all, please.
Well, Simmer's rolling 11, so she's not of us, but, you know.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Nico gets a 15.
All right.
Luca-
So we go next year.
Luca, what do you get?
I got an 8, I believe.
Onan?
I got a 4.
Rom, you're really torn with your 1. I mean, like, you could jump in there with your sword, but you really don't want to let this tinder go. You want to, like, you got to fall through, right? So the inner
There's so many
conflict.
choices. Don't know which one.
Exactly.
Do you go?
Like,
Is it an upgrain or is it a downgrain strike you're going to do?
exactly. Top of the initiative, right? There's cabbage. There's all kinds of stuff around. Somebody singles out Nico. Probably because he's a Dampier, probably for like whatever reason. Somewhere hidden in the crowd, some little kid with shit on his hands or her hands just puts her hands in her pockets and lays low. Somewhere else in the crowd, someone's got that proverbial couple of flyers left over that they didn't put out, and they just kind of stuff those in their shirt. Nico steps forward, hands ablaze, ready to cast, and something just beans him like a heavy rock right in the side of the head, and he goes down hard, and he is out cold. And we will see you next time.